I'm Jill Epstein, and with my husband Eric, we have raised 3 wonderful children at Congregation Oromie, each unique and blessed in their own way. It is often said that God will not give you more than you can handle. When our 3rd child, Ethan, was born, we often wondered whether we were up for the challenge. Ethan is neurodiverse, which back when he was diagnosed, before age 2, was known as being on the autism spectrum. Just uttering those words, autism spectrum, used to be a challenge for us. Now we laugh at the labels, as Ethan is so social, happy, and independent, defying customary views of such a diagnosis. The truth is that today, the only spectrum of goals Ethan wants to accomplish, we have been blessed to see him accomplish so much already, in large part because of the experiences Ethan had at and with Congregation Oromie. Congregation Oromie became such an important place for Ethan for many reasons. When our first son, Andrew, became bar mitzvah, we worried that Ethan might distract from the services, so we planned to sequester him in the soundproof children's sanctuary. Only 6 years old, Ethan instead grabbed a prayer book and participated with all of us in the main sanctuary, with a quiet calm we had not seen previously. Our primary intention with Ethan became mainstream, mainstream, mainstream. We never treated him differently than anyone else, and refreshingly, Oromie joined us enthusiastically on that journey. On Friday nights, the rabbis encouraged us to drop him off at services, where he would sit in the front row and sing along. When Ethan was 10 years old, Rabbi Paul encouraged us to send him to Camp Newman, the Jewish sleepaway camp in Northern California. He told us, "My wife Michelle and I will be there those first 2 weeks. There is built-in support there, and you need to send Ethan." After the first 2-week session at camp, Ethan got off the plane and said, "I'm going back for 4 weeks," which later led to 8 weeks as a teen and finally as a CIT. Every summer, Rabbi Paul would work with the camp director to fashion an experience that would work for Ethan. They even made it possible for him to become a staff member, which he has now done for 5 years. When it was time for Ethan to become bar mitzvah in true Oromie fashion, it wasn't a question of how, or of if, but how. Rabbi Paul and Cantor Doug designed a service around him. Ethan chanted all the prayers in Hebrew. He chanted from Torah, too, a special portion which included the Ve'ahavta, which he knew from Kesher. We cherish the picture of Ethan standing next to Rabbi Paul with his arms outstretched, gesturing people to please rise, just like his rabbi. One of our favorite memories from that day is that first moment when, gazing out to a crowd of friends and family, Ethan exclaimed, "This is my moment," and it most certainly was. Of course, tackling Ethan's special needs is a team sport. Getting him to this moment happened because of a dedicated group of teachers, educational speech therapists, Oromie clergy. With tears of joy, each of them proudly stood with Ethan on the bima for a very special aliyah. He attended Oromie's Kesher religious school and went teen program every week. The faculty made each retreat safe and comfortable for him. He so loved Lomti, our teen youth group, that he created a new board position for him, Vice President of Ruach, or Spirit, so that Ethan could lead everyone in his most energetic singing and cheering. More than anything, Ethan wanted to attend the Teen Litaken Social Action Seminar in Washington, D.C. How many synagogues would have assumed responsibility of taking such a kid on a cross-country trip? The response, again, wasn't if he could go, but what shall we do to make it most successful for him? We were truly touched at how he was so warmly embraced by his peers. Over the years, Ethan gained confidence from his experiences at Oromie. He also learned something we once thought to be out of reach. He learned independence. With his developing sense of self-confidence, Ethan expected to go to college and experience it to the fullest. We found Pathway, an amazing college program at UCLA that also teaches independent living skills. He now has his own apartment in Westwood. He's finishing an internship at Ronald Reagan UCLA Hospital and will be looking for a new job near Westwood next month. Anyone have any connections? In all seriousness, we could never have imagined Ethan would be living on his own one day, in his own apartment with his own job. Yet that is exactly what happened. Eric and I firmly believe that Ethan's current successes happened because of the self-reliance he learned at Jewish summer camp and through the support and encouragement he received from Rabbi Paul and the unbelievably embracing education team at ORME. They never saw a kid with special needs. They just saw specialness, holiness, in my kid, just like they found with each of my other kids and all ORME kids. ORME's clergy team and faculty look at each individual child and help them to blossom in their own way. I love that ORME helped my kid, but know this, I hear versions of the story again and again at ORME, and not just from parents with neurodiverse kids. I hear stories of individual support and customized care for all kinds of kids. Every parent knows there is nothing more important than being listened to, being understood, and there is nothing like watching your child thrive under the loving care of the entire family receives at Congregation ORME. That's why I'm up here today, not just to share our story with you, but to invite you to help support the ORME community. Congregation ORME is a safe haven for families. They foster our children and their parents throughout life's challenges, providing a safe place of refuge and a source of limitless support that families need to flourish. So please, make a donation at ORME's High Holy Day Appeal to help us broaden our program for children and families. We have $36,000 as a matching grant to support this work. If you have already pre-pledged to Rabbi Paul, thank you so much. If you have not pre-pledged, please consider giving today. Thank you.